There's two main things that I want to look at right now. It's the set bonuses that got announced, and it seems like we're not going to be having separate PvP and PvE set bonuses. So we're kind of at the mercy of these, you know? And like always, there's some winners and there's some losers when it comes to set bonuses. So we'll see who the ultimate winner and loser is. But before we do that, I want to kind of look at some of the PvP changes that they added. So we could scroll down to player versus player, because they've been, I think one of the things that they want to do in 10.1 is add some new PvP talents for people, and also remove some dead PvP talents. So kind of a little bit of an overhaul in the PvP talents, which I always appreciate, because I feel like the PvP talents are like one of the main ways they add a lot of like interesting flavor to PvP. Some of them are very lackluster. Some of them are really, really strong. Like for Affliction Warlock, Rampant Afflictions. If this didn't exist, ooh, UA Warlock would suck. So things like that obviously help out the gameplay a lot. Okay, so Flame Shock's Dispel Protection, Control the Lava is now a baseline part of Flame Shock. So they actually made Control the Lava baseline for Shaman and for enhancement. Okay, but let's get into the player versus player changes really quick. Interlope for Hunters. The PP talent has been redesigned. Misdirection now causes your pet to redirect the next 3 hostile spells cast on you. Misdirection cooldown increased by 15 seconds. Your pet must be within 20 yards of the target for spells to be redirected. We're still working on this talent, so there may be a few bugs, so I guess they fixed the bugs with that one. Frost. This is actually really cool, so I'm excited about this one because I think Frost Bomb is really fun. I feel like it's a bit undertuned right now. Nobody's really using it, but I think this will actually make people pick the talent, which I think will make Frost rotation a lot more kind of satisfying. So Frostbomb PvP talent explosion damage increased by 50%. Dispelling Frostbomb before an explosion now grants a charge of Brain Freeze. So they actually added Dispel protection to Frostbomb, which is kind of cool for us Frost mages out there. Priests, I think, are the huge winners here. So Priests got some of the coolest things ever, and it's been nonstop complaining from the Shamans. But I don't really blame them, man. I feel like if you're a Shaman, you got to be so like upset about this. Like, let me explain. Priest got this talent, which I think is cool. Phase Shift. Step into the shadows when you cast Fade, avoiding all attacks and spells for 0.5 seconds. Interrupt effects are not affected by phase. So this is useful for a lot of reasons. It's just a quick 0.5 second immunity, but that means you have 0.5 seconds to immune a glacial spike, immune, you know, it's like Shadow Meld, basically. You can immune a glacial spike, you can immune a Hammer of Justice, you can immune a kidney shot, you can immune a Chaos Bolt, you can immune a Cyclone, you can immune a Blind. It's really, really cool. Well, it should have the same cooldown as Fade. Yes, it's going to be a quick little immunity, same cooldown as Fade. It's very strong, but more so than it being strong, I also just feel like it's a really fun talent. I think things like this they're interesting, right? Like this ability is going to have a really high skill cap. It's going to be easy to waste. It's also going to be really, really strong to avoid incoming. Like it's going to be crazy, man. This, like on a Night Elf Priest, like they're going to have a lot of ways to avoid crowd control. It's cool. So Phase Shift has been added to the personal resource display. Okay, great. This is the talent that all the Shamans are sad about. So listen to this. New PvP talent, Absolute Faith. Leap of Faith also pulls the spirit of the 3 furthest allies within 40 yards and distributes their health between you and the affected allies. So what this means to me, because I've thought about this a lot and talked to some people, but I don't think this pulls everybody in. I think Leap of Faith still pulls one person in, but it pulls the souls of your teammates and distributes their health. So it's literally a 40-yard range, 1-minute cooldown, Spirit Link. So all the Shamans right now who have to be in melee range and drop their little totem that gets killed and it like bugs out, pretty crazy. For good reason. I feel like they're salty about this one, but yeah, this definitely seems fucking insane. Someone said it's a 3-minute CD. I guess maybe it's a longer cooldown if you spec into it. I would just have thought that it was the same cooldown as Life Grip, but oh, the Shaman is a 3-minute cooldown. Okay, this is still 1-minute cooldown. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so yeah, Spirit Link Totem, 3-minute cooldown, have to be in melee range, the totem can be killed. This, just absolute God mode, 1-minute cooldown, AoE, it's crazy. So, good for Priest, man. They're chilling, man. They got some cool stuff. They removed Eternal Rest, Delivered from Evil, Gonzo. So for Elemental Shaman, Stormkeeper increases lightning bolt damage by 30%. For Elemental was 115. So they actually, at face value, it's like, oh no, they nerfed Stormkeeper, but then you have to go down 2 changes, and lightning bolt damage has been increased by 53%. So the base damage of lightning bolt is going up by 50%, but they're nerfing Stormkeeper. Okay, So I don't know what the math is exactly on that, but I feel like Stormkeeper's probably still going to be super duper strong. We're looking at the set bonuses. Just keep these changes in mind, okay? Casting Lightning Bolt will surge to power, causes 1 additional elemental overload in combat, was 2. So I think these are some preemptive changes because they're scared of the set bonuses. Okay, Control the Lava has been removed. We already talked about that. It's actually not removed. It's just not a PvP talent. So they basically just get this for free now. New talent, Volcanic Surge, increases the damage of Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, and Lava Burst by 20%. Okay, more Lightning Bolt damage. Anybody? More Lightning Bolt damage, anybody? Lava Surge, instead, it reduces the cast time of your next Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, or Lava Burst by 25%, stacking up to 2 times. So, Lightning Bolt! Maybe some Lightning Bolt builds are going to be in the future for Elemental Shaman. I mean, there's some significant numbers, 20% on top of 53%. I'd have to see it, but maybe it's the same thing as like Frostbolt, where it just doesn't do anything anyways. Doesn't matter. Warlock, Bane of Fragility has been removed. Cremation has been removed. This is a big one. I'm kind of surprised that Cremation got removed because it seems like it's a pretty substantial part of Destruction Warlock's damage. Maybe they feel like they don't need it anymore. Call Fellhunter talent has been removed. Pleasure Through Pain has been removed. Okay, so these are the updated kind of PvP things. I think Hunters get, or sorry, Frost Mages get a slight win here. I guess Hunters aren't bugged anymore. Shaman, not exactly sure what to think of these changes. Could be a buff, could be a nerf. I think some of these look interesting and look like they have promise. I see some elemental shamans in my stream saying, oh, they want us to hard cast Lightning Bolt. That's really bad. Getting kicked on nature is game breaking. True. Maybe they want more people casting spells though. And I feel like one thing we got to keep in mind is like the context of having to cast more. I think in general, it is true that casting sucks in PvP, but it might not be so bad with everybody getting baseline precog and interrupts being reduced. It might not be as punishing as before. So interesting. And then also, yeah, Priest is insane. Okay, so now we can get into the set bonuses. This is what everybody wants, okay? And this is where we can find out if your class is a winner or if your class is a loser. Okay, now I want to say this is feedback class sets in Embers. So they're looking for feedback, okay? So don't panic. You know, if your set bonus is garbage, don't fully panic. Provide the necessary feedback through the necessary channels, because my feedback before even looking at these is I wish that there was PvP set bonuses, because it is very clear to me that these set bonuses are not designed with PvP in mind at all. I really believe that. Some of them are so good and some of them are so bad, okay? And some of them I don't know that much about, so maybe chat can help me out with this one. Okay, so we can go through the Death Knight. Blood, Heartstrike and Blood Boil deal 20% increased damage and have 10% chance to grant Vampiric Blood. I'm not really going to comment on these ones because I don't know much about tanks. Sorry. When you gain Vampiric Blood, you are infused with Vampiric Strength, granting you 10% strength for 5 seconds. Your Heartstrike and Blood Boil extend the duration of Vampiric Strength by 0.5 seconds. Don't know what that means. Set bonus. Helling Blast and Frost Fever damage increased by 10%. Sounds okay. Your Rhyme empowered Howling Blast reduced the cooldown of Frostworm's Fury by 2 seconds. I don't know how much that's going to matter. After consuming Rhyme 15 times, you call Frostworm's Fury on your target at 100% effectiveness. Now, my knee-jerk reaction to this is that it doesn't help. I could be wrong about this, but with the way Frost DKs play, I feel like this isn't very useful. Like, Frost DKs are all about just that 1 minute bang. That's all they do. Maybe this will help them outside of that, or maybe this is just kind of like useless and doesn't really help them that much, you know? Because they really just to kind of concentrate on that one moment where they grip, they blinding sleet, you know, they chill streak, and they go crazy. I don't know if that actually helps them with this. Maybe this will be good for outside of that moment, but I'm not sure. Unholy, set bonus, Death Coil and Epidemic damage increased by 10%. Casting Death Coil or Epidemic grants a stack of Master of Death at 20 stacks. Master of Death is consumed and you gain 15% mastery. That seems good. I mean, I'm not sure, but seems good. When Death Coil or Epidemic consumes Sudden Doom, gain 2 stacks of Master of Death or increase the mastery bonus to 25%. That's a lot of mastery. Like, I don't know how good Unholy Death Knight mastery is, but I'm telling you right now, if I could, like, on the specs that I play, if I could get 25% mastery, like on my Windwalker Monk or my Frost Mage, that seems pretty freaking insane, man. So I'm not exactly sure the strength of this one, but it seems really good. And people are saying Unholy Mastery is good, so maybe they're a big winner. Every 200 Fury you spend, gain Seething Fury, increasing your agility by 8% for 6 seconds. Okay. Each time you gain Seething Fury, you gain 15 Fury, and damage of your next eye beam is increased by 12%, stacking up to 5 times. So you might get like some big one-shot eye beams, potentially. You get like some pretty good consistent damage with the agility buff. And then you could get like some really, really big eye beams, which could be cool. Vengeance. Soul Fragments heal 10% more. I don't really care about the tank ones, to be honest with you. I almost don't, like, I'll read them out for you guys if you're a tank player, but I don't care about them. Soul Fragments heal 10% more and generate a Soul Fragment, increasing your fire damage by 2% for 6 seconds. Multiple applications may overlap. Shear and Fracture deal fire damage. After consuming 20 Soul Fragments, your next cast of Shear or Fracture applies fiery brands for 6 seconds. Cool, don't care. Balance. Sunfire radius increased by 2 yards. Sunfire, Moonfire, and Shooting Stars damage increased by 18%. That 18% dot damage seems really good. That seems pretty strong. But I don't know how much it matters. I mean, it might end up mattering. Because I feel like especially because Moonkins are getting... it's the context of all the changes, right? Moonkins are getting Dispel Protection with Stellar Flare. So maybe, you know, being able to put up Stellar Flare and then also having a stronger Sunfire, Moonfire, and Shooting Stars could really, really make the rot build good for Boomkins. Shooting Stars has a 20% chance to instead call down a Crashing Star, dealing... Maybe this is good. I mean, I've been playing mostly the Shooting Star. Supa said, like, 2-set bonus, not that great for Boomy. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure on that. He probably knows... Well, he knows better than I do, but I feel like from my experience on Boomkin, this seems like it could be good with the direction that we're going. I will say, I do agree, it's a lot worse. It's a lot less fun than the current Boomkin 2-set, 4-set. But I will also say that I think the current Boomkin 2-set, 4-set is insanely good compared to a lot of other tier bonuses. Like, it's kind of crazy. And that's one of the problems with making such good tier sets, is it feels really bad to lose it. So that's unfortunate for Boomkins. Feral, your auto attacks have a chance to grant Shadows of the Predator, increasing your agility by 1%. Each application past 5 has an increased chance to reset. When Shadow of the Predator application resets stacks, you gain 5% increased agility. And you generate 1 combo point every 1.5 seconds. Not sure about this one. I'm not too sure about this Feral one. Sounds okay. Guardian, okay, we'll read that just for you guys. When you take damage, Mangle, Thrash, and Mangle and Thrash damage and Rage Regeneration are increased by 15% for 8 seconds, and you heal 6% of damage taken over 8 seconds. Okay, Maul, Raise damage increased by 20%, and casting Iron 4 and Maul Raise increase your maximum health by 3% for 12 seconds, stacking 5 times. Okay. Great. Resto. Okay. Set bonus. Rejuvenation and Life Bloom healing increased by 15%. That seems really fucking good. Like, just right away. I'm always jealous of like the 2 sets that are just like, your 2 main heals are just, your 2 main things are just way better. Regrowth healing over time increased by, this seems like a huge throughput for Resto Shaman. Rejuve and Life Bloom, 15% more healing. Regrowth, 75% more periodic healing. Flourish increases the rate of your heal over time effects by 40% for an additional 16 seconds after it ends. Verdant Infusion causes your Swiftman target to gain 15% increased healing. Yeah, these seem really good. These seem really, really strong for set bonuses. That's a lot of throughput. Okay. So I think Resto Druid is looking good. Devastation Evoker. Disintegrate and Pyre pierce enemies with obsidian scales, dealing 12% of damage done as volcanic. So basically, Disintegrate and Pyre deal an additional 12% as a volcanic dot. Okay? Empowered spells deal 8% increased damage and cause obsidian shards to become supercharged, dealing 200% more damage for 5 seconds. Okay, that's a lot. During Dragon Rage, shards are always supercharged. So this makes Dragon Rage even more overpowered in PvP. You know, you guys know that I love Devastation. I play a lot of Devastation. These seem very strong. And it's going to make Dragon Rage even crazier. Especially because I think Dragon Rage is getting cooldown reduction in the next build as well. Like, Devastation is getting a bit of a rework. I could be wrong about this, but yeah, I think Devastation is getting cooldown reduction on Dragon Rage, so it's going to be up more often, which makes this even scarier. Seems good. Preservation. Spirit Bloom applies a heal over time effect for 40% of healing over 8 seconds. Dream Breath healing is increased by 15%. After casting 3 empowered spells, gain Essence Burst immediately and another 3 seconds later. Spirit Bloom applies a heal over time effect for 40% of the healing done over 8 seconds. Dream Breath's healing is agreed. That seems good. After casting 3 empowered spells, gain Essence Burst immediately. Okay. Get double Essence Burst. Not too bad. Beast Mastery. Beast Mastery 1. This seems really, really crazy. Cobra Shot and Kill Command damage increased by 15%. So Beast Mastery has such a simple set bonus, but I feel like it's the most OP. You guys can let me know your thoughts on that, but I think this is insane. So Cobra Shot and Kill Command do 15% more damage. That's insane. And then Cobra Shot, Kill Command, and Multi-Shot reduce the cooldown of Bestial Wrath by 1 second. Definitely seems very strong. Each time they each time they use Cobra Shot or Kill Command or Multi-Shot, Bestial Wrath cooldown is reduced by 1 second. Pretty good. Marksmanship. Arcane Shot and Chimera Shot and Multi-Shot deals 10% increased damage and have an 8% chance to grant you Death Blow. Kill Shot damage increased. Oh, okay. Kill Shot damage increased by 15%. And Kill Shot reduces the cooldown of Rapid Fire and Aim Shot. Oh my god, man! Did Hunters win the lottery? I mean, am I crazy? This seems so good. I feel like this sucks, but this is crazy. Am I wrong? Arcane Shot and Chimera Shot and Multi-Shot deal 10% increased damage. I don't think anybody cares about that. But this, 15% Kill Shot damage and Kill Shot reduces the cooldown of Rapid Fire. Oh, Death Blow is the Kill Shot proc. Oh. Oh no! Okay, yeah, Marks. Dude, Marks. I swear, man, right now, these two specs are flying under the radar. They're very strong. Like, when I play Solo Shuffle, I fight these two specs more than anything else. I really do. Marks and BM Hunter. I feel like 90% of my lobbies have a Marks Hunter and a BM Hunter. Okay. Survival. Wildfire Bomb damage increased by 10%, and throwing a Wildfire Bomb increases the damage of your next kill command by 50%. I don't know how much Kill Command does for survival, but 50% seems like a big number. Every 25 focus you spend reduces the cooldown of Wildfire Bomb by 1 second. Here we go. Arcane Surge increases spell damage by an additional 5%, and its duration is increased by 3 seconds. This is very strong, I think. And this is also apparently good. I think a lot of mages weren't sure, but now I see mages tweeting that it's very, very good. For every 20,000 mana spent during Arcane Surge, your spell damage is increased by 1% for 12 seconds after Arcane Surge fades, stacking up to 30 times. Some mages were saying that like it feels like you just basically have Arcane Surge for like 30 seconds. It's not like, I'm telling you right now, unless you're in PvE, you're not ever going to get, I feel like you'll never get the 30 stacks in PvP. Like there's just no way. Like, the only way that's going to happen is if you use your arcanes. I feel like if you could get to 30 stacks, it's impossible for the game not to end. Like, I don't think you can do that much damage during your Arcane Surge to get 30 stacks without killing someone. So, it's just going to be even more important to shut down an Arcane Mage during Arcane Surge, essentially. The Fire and Frost ones, I'm like very, I don't know. Phoenix Flames applies Charring Embers to all enemies it damages, increasing their damage taken from you by 6 seconds. I saw a lot of PvE mages complaining that this is like anti-synergy, because I guess in PvE you want to have your Phoenix Flames charges for more mastery. So like use it, like it's like weird. You want to have your Phoenix Flames charges, but your set bonuses want you to spend them, allegedly. And then when your direct damage spells hit an enemy affected by Charring Embers 30 times, you gain Hyperthermia. I don't know. I feel like this is very mid. Like, I don't think this is that crazy. Like, you get a hypothermia proc. I feel like this doesn't even matter that much. You know? I feel like it's super, very... I honestly think this will get redesigned. I saw a lot of negativity about it. Frost. So, Flurry and Frostbolt damage increased by 20%. Flurry causes an explosion on impact, dealing 50% of its damage to nearby enemies. Damage reduced beyond 5 targets. Okay, so more cleave for Frost Mage. I mean, the Frostbolt buff is semi-interesting. Like, maybe Frostbolt will actually be good. There's a chance. I'm not sure. I'd have to see, like, yeah, I don't know. And then casting Ice Lance on a frozen target has an 80% chance to trigger a Brain Freeze. I'm not that, like, this could be good, but it's also, like, it doesn't excite me, you know? Will this Frost set make Frostbolt build meta? Maybe. Maybe. And remember, like, it was the same with Ellie Shaman. Like, Ellie Shamans, maybe you're being pushed to cast Lightning Bolts more. But just remember, that everyone is getting precog, which is pretty big, and also all kicks are being nerfed. So maybe like more casted spells isn't so bad, but I'm not convinced that this is going to be that crazy. Basically, if you take if you look at this as like from the current like Frost Mage point of view, you got Flurry damage increased by 20%, and Flurry cleaves more, and when you Ice Lance, you get a Brain Freeze. So even for just the instant cast, it's just more procs on procs on procs, basically. Brewmaster, we'll look at it. Blackout kick damage increased by 20%. You have a 10% chance not to reset your elusive brawler. Great. Rising Sun Kick grants a stack of elusive brawler. When you dodge, damage, or critical strike, the chance of your next Blackout kick or Rising Sun Kick is increased by 5%. Okay, cool. Don't care. Mistweaver, set bonus. Renewing Mist has a chance to grant Soul Fang Infusion, granting 5% of your maximum mana. So I kind of wonder what the proc chance on this. To me, it seems pretty good to just get like, is this going to make Mistweavers even more of like the attrition dampening healer? That's you know, like how often is that going to proc? Is that a lot of mana? I guess it depends, but are Mistweavers going I think they can in like rated 3s. In like rated 3s, maybe not solo shuffle, but in rated 3s, Mistweavers can go But that might make them even better. And then drinking a tea or gaining Soulfang Infusion increases the healing of your Vivify and renewing Mist by 40%. I'm not sure. It seems like this is okay. Not the best, not the worst. Windwalker. I don't like the Windwalker one very much. Set bonus, Rising Sun Kick deals increased damage. Is this weird to you that they didn't specify? What does that mean? Everything else is like 20%, 8%. You know, it's very specific. But for Windwalker Monk, it's just Rising Sun Kick deals increased damage. What the hell does that mean? It has a chance to go Nova, dealing fire damage to all enemies within 8 yards. So, it might be okay. I kind of feel like the only button you have that feels good right now is Rising Sun Kick. Like when I play my Monk, it's just Rising Sun Kick is like the only thing that feels really good. So I guess it's just going to feel even more really good. And then your melee auto attacks. So listen to this. This is an uptime thing. Your melee auto attacks have a chance to launch a Shadow Flame Spirit at your enemy that duplicates your next 3 abilities at X% effectiveness. What is that? X%. You know? I don't like images, man. Nobody likes images. If the thing is, like, if these can be CC'd, no one's having a good time, man. I don't like it. I don't want this. I don't like it. Oh, man, I spawned an image. Nova. Oh, man, I spawned an image. Mass Entangle. Oh, man, I spawned an image. DB, like, knock. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't want more random pets. I'm not a fan of this. Sorry. It might be okay, but I still don't like it. Paladin, set bonus, Holy Shock, critical strike heals for 15% more and reduces the cooldown of Light's Hammer by 2 seconds and Holy Prism by 1 second. Light's Hammer heals 100% more frequently and generates 1 Holy Power every 4 seconds. Holy Prism's healing is increased by 80% and generates 1 Holy Power if cast on an enemy target or 3 if cast on an ally. I don't know what any of that does. Born Good told me that he likes the set bonuses, so I'm going to assume it's good. So Born Good likes it. Great. Good for Paladins. I'm super happy. Born Good now says it's mid. He thought about it a lot. Okay. Protection. Set bonus. Avenging Shield causes targets struck to burn with Heartfire, dealing an additional 20% of its damage over 5 seconds. Heartfire heals you for 100% of its damage done. Great. Judgment critical strikes can trigger Grand Crusader. I don't know what Grand Crusader is, but what I do know is this doesn't really matter. The only time you beat a prop paladin is either you one-shot them or just bring them into dampening. So with dampening, this healing probably won't matter. They're already immune to death, so I don't know. Whatever, dude. That's all I can say about Holy Paladins, or prop paladins, sorry. Don't care. Retribution. Judgment and Hammer of Wrath deal 10% increased damage and 20% increased critical strike damage. I hate this. I'm gonna throw this out there into the universe. I'm not a Ret Paladin hater, but we just nerfed crits in PvP, and Rets are gonna have the same absurd crits. Although I don't know how important Judgment and Hammer. Like maybe my meat. Maybe Judgment and Hammer don't crit that hard anyway, so they suck. I'm not sure. Judgment increases the damage enemies take from your Holy Power Spenders by an additional 5%. Hammer Wrath applies Judgment to enemies. Okay. They are important. Judgment crits hard. Okay, great. Yeah, so we just nerfed crits, and now Ruts are going back to absurd crits. Love it! Priest and Discipline Priest. Set bonuses, casting penance on an enemy. Also, I don't know how good this is, but it seems okay. Casting penance on an enemy also heals a nearby injured ally at 20% effectiveness. Casting penance on an ally also damages a nearby enemy at 35% effectiveness. Every 3 casts of penance grants you Shadow Covenant for 5 seconds and converts that penance to a shadow spell. Okay. Prayer Mending has a 20% chance to duplicate to another nearby target when it jumps. When Prayer Mending jumps, it increases damage and healing of your next holy word by 4%, stacking 15 times. Could be good. Could be good. Maybe Holy Priest will be like the thing that heals through spread pressure. I was talking to Supertees about this yesterday, but I feel like in 10.1, with like the nerf to crits and a bunch of the changes that are coming in, I feel like dot classes are going to see a bit of a rise. That's what I think. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like we could see like even like Moonkin, Resto Shaman, Affliction Warlock be pretty strong. Like some of the Resto Shaman changes. What if there's just imagine just a Moonkin and a Affliction Warlock just standing still in a healing rain, dotting you all. LSD2 with precog and shorter interrupts, and yeah, it could be good. I'm kind of scared. I hate when those kind of comps are good, but yeah. We'll see. When consuming Shadowy Insight, Mind Blast deals 60% increased damage and generate... Okay. Every 400 insanity spent, summons Shadow Fiend Mind Bender for 5 seconds. Is that good? 60% increased damage on Mind Blast procs. I don't know how much damage Mind Blast does, but maybe that's okay. Maybe there's like a Mind Blast build you can go. Assassination, Rupture, and Crimson Tempest deal an additional 30% damage. So Rupture deals a 30% increased damage. When Deathmark expires, nature damage you deal is increased by 40%. That's kind of, so they're going to have burst after Deathmark. So their poisons are going to hit harder. The Rupture nature damage is going to hit harder. Their, what is it called? What's the poison finisher? What's that called? 30 seconds is a long time, yeah. And Venom, yeah. Seems good. Outlaw, damage you inflict causes a soul rip, dealing 5% of all your damage you deal as physical damage over 8 seconds. Between the eyes unleashes all soul rips, dealing 200% of all remaining damage, granting 7% agility. Okay. Shadow Dance grants you symbols of death for 10 seconds and extends the duration of Rupture. Shadow Dance grants you symbols of death for 10 seconds. Is that good? I feel like that's good. Okay. Symbols of Death increases your critical strike damage of Eviscerate and Black Powder by some more crit damage. So yeah, I'm gonna say it again. Listen, I'm not a hater on any of these things, but I will say it's a bit weird that, just remember, I already know that none of these set bonuses are with PvP in mind. I really think that. But it is weird that we're nerfing crits in PvP and then some things are just getting buffed crits again. Just gonna be a little bit of outliers, you know? But whatever. All right, Subtlety Rogue seems like it got a good set. Elemental Shaman. This one is weird. Gains Stormkeeper every 40 seconds. So remember back, Stormkeeper got preemptively nerfed, but they did buff Lightning Bolt. So Lightning Bolt does more damage, and also this increases Lightning Bolt damage too, Volcanic Surge. And they're just getting Stormkeeper every 40 seconds. Set bonus. For 8 seconds after you consume Stormbreaker, your Lightning Bolt, Lava Burst, Ice Sphere, and Frost Shock generate 100% more Maelstrom, and your Chain Lightning, Lava Beam, and Earthquake critical strike damage is increased. So this part seems pretty bad. The second part seems really bad in PvP. The first part might be okay. You can just like use a bunch of Earth Shocks maybe. I don't know. Maybe it sucks. Seems like all that Maelstrom generation, you might be able to get like a bunch of Earth Shocks. Enhancement, Sundering damage. Sundering increases your mastery by 12% for 15 seconds. When Sundering hits a single target, you deal 30% increased physical damage for 15 seconds. When Sundering strikes 2 or more targets, your next Chain Lightning deals 50% increased damage and refunds 100% of Maelstrom. The Chain Lightning thing, is that good? I feel like that's not good in PvP. You're pretty much, I think you're always going to want to like sunder one person, which seems kind of weird. Am I wrong about that? You don't think chain lightning is any use? It's pretty useless outside of ignore paint. Okay, so maybe you're just gonna like want to sunder one target, which seems. I feel like as an enhancement shaman, you probably like in the past you want to sunder as many targets as possible, but now you're gonna be incentivized to only hit one thing, which seems kind of weird for PvP. Maybe this is good, but it seems weird. Resto Shaman, when you cast Healing Rain, all of your all allies with Riptide on them are healed by Tidewalker. Each ally healed by Tidewalker increases your haste and increases the. Why did they, bro? Like okay. Why did they love Healing Rain so much, man? Like, I feel like if I was a shaman, I would just want Healing Rain to be deleted. Like if I was a shaman in PvP, like get this shit out of here. Stop it, man. I know Healing Rain owns in PvE, but like, dude, I swear it trolls the PvP shamans so much. Oh well, maybe it'll be good. I'm not saying that it's not going to be good, because I think they got like something with like, got something new with their Healing Rain, Acid Rain. But yeah, like Chain Heal and Healing Tide is just so troll, man. Okay, Affliction Warlock, set bonus, Vile Taint cooldown reduced by 5 seconds, and Phantom Singularity cooldown reduced by 12 seconds. Vile Taint and Phantom Singularity, damage increased by 60%. So this button right here does 60%. I don't even know what Vile Taint is. I've gotten like 2,500 on Affliction. I don't even know what this is. Vile Taint unleashes a Vile Explosion, dealing shadow damage over 10 seconds to enemies. So it's like an AoE. This is their AoE. Yeah, Mythic Plus talent. This sucks in PvP, I think. So Vile Taint does Garbanzo. Enemies damaged by Phantom Singularity gain Infirmity for its duration, and enemies damaged by Vile Taint gain Infirmity for 10 seconds, increasing damage taken by 10%. So basically Affliction Warlocks, I think their set bonus is way worse. Like, it's way less interesting. Like, this set bonus is a lot more fun, in my opinion. 4-set bonus technically applies Infirmity for 2 seconds every time an enemy is damaged by Phantom Singularity. Phantom Singularity deals damage every 2 seconds, so that has the effect keeping Infirmity on targets for its duration. Okay, so it's going to be important to dispel. You're going to want to dispel it. It's definitely just going to be Warlock only damage. And we'll see. I guess it take 10% more damage. Maybe it'll be good. Like every time you press Phantom Singularity, it's going to be really, really scary. I do think it's still less fun than the current 4-set. Demonology, Demon Bolt damage increased by 15%. Consuming a demonic core reduces the cooldown of Grimoire Felguard by 1 second. Okay. Grimoire Felguard deals 40% additional damage and empowers your active demons, increasing their damage done while active. This is the button you press. I'm pretty sure this is the button you press that summons a little Felguard, right? This seems freaking really good. This seems really good. I'm not gonna lie. Seems really, really strong. The second Felguard is just gonna own and power all your demons. 20% more damage on demons. Yeah, this is busted. Okay. Destruction. Channel Demon Fire Bolts, Immolate and Incinerate have a 20% chance to fire an additional Demon Fire Bolt. The hell is that? After casting 15 Demon Fire Bolts, your next Demon Fire Bolt deal. What is Demon Fire Bolt? I don't even know what that is. Seems bad. I don't even know what that it does. Okay, so it's a talent you don't even play. All right, cool. No one knows. It's a talent nobody's ever played. Nobody knows what it does. All right, great. Arms Warrior. Deep Wounds increases your chance to critically strike and critical strike damage dealt to afflicted targets by 10%. All right, here we go. Buffing crits again, guys. We nerfed crits just to buff crits. All right, so Arms is getting, some bigger crits and more crit. Deep Wounds, critical strikes have a chance to increase the damage of your next slam by 25%, stacking 10 times and causing it to strike. That seems like a lot. I don't know how hard slam hits, but 25% 10 times, that's a big modifier. That's a big modifier. Slam sucks. Yeah, but does it suck enough that 250% damage is not good? Maybe it's Garbanzo beans. I'm not sure. Okay, so this seems good. This seems questionable. Rampage critical strikes against your primary target cause your next Bloodthirst to deal 50% increased damage and generate 2 additional rage, stacking up to 4 times. It also has a 100% chance to critically strike. Whoa. Is that good? Rampage damage has a chance to critically strike. This seems good. Rampage damage and chance to critically strike increased by 10%. Okay. Rampage critical strikes against your primary target cause your next Bloodthirst to deal 50% increased damage. This seems like it's good. Protection. Shield Slam deals 15% increased damage and reduces the cooldown of Last Stand. Okay. During Last Stand, these effects are doubled. Great. For 10 seconds after Last Stand ends, Shield Slam unleashes a wave of force, dealing damage to enemies. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. And once again, the bonuses above will become available for testing. The PTR, we expect the first few sets to see on the PTR to be Death Knight, Havoc, Demon Hunter, Druid, Mage, Brewmaster, Monk. Yeah, so I mean, you guys can look at the forums, you guys can look at Twitter, you guys can look on YouTube, you can look on Twitch. I think a lot of these sets are, like I said, not designed with PvP in mind. Some people just get really lucky. Some classes get really, really lucky that like their PvP abilities are good. Some get really unlucky, like Vile Taint and Slam, you know? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the mage sets personally. And I'm definitely not a fan of the Windwalker set and the Shaman set. Some are good though, like Resto Druid. Basically, at the end of the day, in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, it's just kind of RNG if your set is good or not. And I think we need PvP sets. I would rather that PvPers just had a PvP set that lasted the whole expansion, or maybe changed like one time, you know? That would be the dream. Because I don't think you're ever going to have... I don't think you're going to be able to live in a world where these set bonuses make everybody happy. You know what I mean? Because maybe the Healing Rain thing is super fun for raiding. Like if you're a Resto Shaman and you're raiding, like you want Healing Rain buffs and you're so excited. Oh my god. Healing Rain is getting buffed. This is so cool.